So, with the Louisiana Purchase, we now acquired thousands and thousands of acres of land, and we have no clue what's out there. So, Jefferson then decided to appoint a committee, really, in order to go out and explore this new territory. So, to head this new group of explorers, was Captain Meriwether Lewis, and he went ahead and chose his friend Lieutenant William Clark to come along with him, right? And so started the expedition of Lewis and Clark. And they took weeks and weeks to prepare for it, learning about all different types of biology and plants and animals, talking to a whole bunch of different experts for what they might find out there in order to help them with their gathering of information and data that they can bring back to Jefferson at the end of this expedition. Now, the group of people that Lewis and Clark went ahead and chose to go along with them was about 50 skilled men who were all chosen for different things. And together they made up what was known as the Corps of Discovery. And the objectives of the Corps of Discovery were really to map out this new territory, to study and to make notes of the new plant and animal life that they found along the way, and also to try and see if they actually would find that northwest passage to the Pacific. Right? There was still this hope that they could somehow find a water route that would allow them to get from the east to the west of the United States. So these were the main objectives of Lewis and Clark. They really had no clue what they were going to find along the way because this was totally unknown territory to them. So they set out from St. Louis, Missouri in 1804. And by the winter of that year, they made it all the way up to North Dakota in Fort Mandan. And that's where they came across and met.
That is not my name.
No.
Box.
No.
Mission accomplished.
That's right. It's Sacagawea. And Sacagawea, right, was married at that time to a French trapper. And she went ahead and helped Lewis and Clark on their journey the rest of the way, serving as an interpreter, serving as a way to identify plants and animals and plants that they could eat and couldn't eat. And she really was an indispensable part of this trip. And I don't really think we give a lot of credit to Sacagawea as much as she deserves. She was a Shoshone Indian who lived over by the Rockies. She was kidnapped very young, ended up over in North Dakota, was married off to this French trader. She then had an infant that she had strapped to her back and still managed to trek her way across the country, leading these men to different places and not getting them killed. Eventually, in 1805, the crew made it to the Pacific Ocean. And it took about another year for Lewis and Clark to make their journey back to St. Louis and go back to Jefferson and kind of then provide all of the information that they learned along the way of plants, of animals, of all of the Native American tribes that they met along the way, and also to provide a map and more of a precise description of this now newly purchased Louisiana territory. And that is the expedition of Lewis and Clark.